O be joyful in the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness, and come before his presence with a song. Be ye sure that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. O go your way into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and speak good of his name. For the Lord is gracious, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth from generation to generation. Good morning, welcome to Going to Ground. And this is my first time inside a church building for around 3 months, and rather wonderful it is to return. I'm going to read for you today the second of 2 pieces I wrote last year about church buildings. Yesterday's was about Imber, and today's is about this wonderful place, St Michael's Church in Tidcombe, and it's called Lively Stones. To sit alone in a country church is companionable solitude, a volume of silence. I'm at St Michael's Tidcombe, prior to taking a service for its rededication next weekend. Writing my sermon in the church seemed appropriate, and ought, I thought, allow the place to permeate my words a little. Major repairs to these lively stones were being undertaken, following a heroic fundraising effort. Then, as happens in so many similar cases, thieves arrived by night and used the scaffolding to remove lead from the roof, rolling it up in heavy carpets, carting it away through the graveyard. Such ruinous seasons of metal theft, sometimes being inflicted multiple times on the same church, are almost beyond endurance for those already shouldering the massive cost of our built heritage. The Church of England looks after a startling 45% of all Grade 1 listed buildings in this country, and each one has to be sustained by a voluntary effort, often by tiny communities as in Tidcombe. So it's an amazing, praiseworthy feat that the majority of England's 15,700 parish churches are in such good shape, and a defiant sign of life that St Michael's has a gleaming new roof, this time in turn-coated stainless steel. Church buildings run by subtle semiotics. They are always signifying something just out of sight. Underneath reads a tombstone, the word embellished for emphasis, are deposited the mortal remains of Edward Tanner, many years an inhabitant of this parish. Rustily caged, an enclosure for creatures long departed, the monument points to what is beyond and invites you to imagine it, grisly or glorious. Because they express investment in what cannot be seen, barely even articulated, these emblems are potent beyond belief. We are unable to grasp the thing signified, so the physical sign becomes a vital proxy. Now this instinct can, of course, become baneful, as any parish priest knows. But to suppress or ignore it is folly, for it can also point us to paradise. The font in Tidcombe Church is a fine example. Perhaps because it doesn't belong to anyone in particular, but thousands of lives, fondly or briskly christened. Its personal significance is both diffused and amplified. In buttery limestone, faintly striated, it is a deep and beautiful thing, thought to be Saxon and to date from around 850 AD. Being so soaked in association with bawling, aspirant life, and the Christ of this place, the St Michael's font fairly pulses. We can no more evacuate divine meaning from the material world as live in the clouds. This is why we shall continue to replace the church roof and thermometer our appeals to heaven. My sermon complete, I sketched the font in 6B. Enjoy a silent sandwich, then leave. God bless you today as you go to ground.